Check out Paddy Power's latest football offer. Bet £20 on either team to win in the Liverpool v Arsenal match this weekend and get a £5 free bet for every goal they score in that match. Not available in shops. T&Cs apply. 18+. Gambleware.co.uk.
Hello there, welcome along to the Racing Post Football Postcast, joined by Racing Post football betting experts Mark Langdon, James Milton and Adrian Croak on the line from our friends at Paddy Power. And Adrian, give us a show for the first game on Sunday, which is Tottenham versus Everton, please.
So Spurs are 4-6, the draw is 29-10, and Everton are 4-1 away at the moment.
And what are we thinking?
Prices probably look about right. Tottenham were very impressive against Stoke, but as we said, Stoke didn't look like they came back from holidays. Everton, again, very good last week. Lukaku looks to be absolutely on flying form. Maybe looking at a game, both teams to score, again quite short, but 4-6 for the yes here and 11-10 for no.
Interesting, Mark. Both teams keeping plenty of clean sheets of late.
Yeah, I mean, I really, this is a real head scratcher for me. Not helped by the fact that we don't know the status yet of Toby Alderweireld and even Jan Vertonghen. There was a slight doubt about him. I expect Vertonghen to play. Alderweireld went off against.
Leave a massive hole at the back.
I mean, it'd be absolutely massive if he was out. I mean, I don't think I could back Spurs at 4-6 if he wasn't playing. Everton are unbeaten in 9, and that includes their last 5 away matches as well. But in the end, I've just come down to keeping it very simple. And going for Harry Kane to score any time, around about 5-6. I mean, he scored in 6 of his last 8 home Premier League games. He's got 3 hat-tricks in his last 7 domestic fixtures as well. Takes the Tottenham penalties. He's on the free kicks now. He's taken over from Ericsson there.
He's not on the corners like he was for England, is he?
No, he's on the end of the corners.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But he's the focal point to the attack. Dele Alli and obviously Christian Eriksen supplying brilliantly. Kyle Walker bombs down the right as well. If Tottenham score, it's almost certain to be Kane the way that he's going. And, I mean, in a really difficult game, that was the only kind of minor angle I could find.
There was a stat I saw, first player since Jimmy Greaves to score 20 goals in all competitions in 3 consecutive seasons.
I mean, he's like his whole career record's like 1 in 2 for somebody that, wasn't overly appreciated in some of his early loan spells. He didn't make the grade at Leicester nor at Norwich. I mean, he's just been phenomenal, really. I mean, people still doubt some parts of his game, and there are times when I do too. But I mean, his finishing is just exceptional. Even if he is running a little bit hot at the moment, you can't carry this on, but hopefully he can just get the one.
Before I get James's view, Adrian, just quickly, Harry Kane first goal, anytime scorer. Sure, it'd be popular.
Harry Kane first goal is 11-4, and any time is 5-6.
5-6, James. Does that appeal to you? That 5-6?
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, I'm quite keen on Tottenham here. I think Mark's right to voice his caution and about the defensive.
That's probably the Spurs fan in him, though.
But yeah,
well.
yeah.
I just think with
the
Toby's
fitness doubts. Yeah, you probably be waiting for team news on this. But
yeah.
I thought 4-6 Tottenham at home. They've won 11 of 13. In the league, beaten Chelsea, beaten Man City, and Everton's away form is pretty unconvincing. Actually, just looking at them, I mean, they've been in decent form, and obviously Lukaku scoring plenty of goals. They've still got after the trip to White Hart Lane, they've still got to go away to Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United. So Everton fans dreaming of pushing on for maybe even a top 6 place. I think that could dampen their enthusiasm a little bit. And yeah, I think. Maybe wait and see for the team news, but I wouldn't put you off backing Tottenham around 4-6.
Be ready to fire the bullet
Pounce.
Once we get the team news. Right, Adrian, second game on Sunday, 4:00 kick-off, Sunderland versus Manchester City, who are trundling along rather well.
So Sunderland are 10-1, the draw is 92, and Man City are 2-7 here.
2-7, plenty short enough?
Yeah, they're plenty short there. I think they're deservingly short. Sunderland look to be almost on their way out of the league. Only player that's played for them all season seems to be Defoe. 2-7, hard to back anything that short of price, but maybe if you're looking at the handicap here, you can get Man City -2 at 21-10.
Okay.
Bit big, but maybe.
Mark, not for everyone, 2-7, and does look a bit of a mismatch, but how do we play?
I was looking at the -1. I'm not going to be quite as aggressive there as Adrian and go for the -2. But, 6 of their last 7 wins, City have been by at least 2 goals. I mean, you could say that Sunderland have done okay in a lot of their big matches. Against Liverpool, Tottenham, they were unlucky as well against Chelsea to nearly nicked a point in that one. But I'm just always wary of the way that they play. I mean, they don't create many chances, and they give the opposition so much possession that they're almost relying on a bit of luck. Quite often, and they had that against Liverpool. Tottenham didn't play particularly well, but I mean, they never looked like they were going to score in that game. And I mean, City at the moment are playing the best stuff in the Premier League. That Sane and Sterling wide of Aguero is absolutely devastating. And some of their football against Huddersfield was just incredible. I don't know if you've seen the goal. I think it was the fourth goal. There was like a minute's worth of passing from Man City that goes all the way back to Bravo, chips a ball over the oncoming Huddersfield player. They go down the other end and score, with De Bruyne as well, playing well. I'd be surprised if Sunderland kept this respectable.
That's why he's in the side. Mark, good with his feet. That keeper.
Well, he won't be in the side on. He won't be on the side on Sunday because Big Willie will be back. Caballero's actually done okay. Since he's come into the team. But I mean, I've said it for most of the season, and I'll continue to say it. Man City are the best team in the Premier League. They just had that wobbly spell that's probably going to cost them the title.
James, for you, this game?
Yeah, it's a tricky one from a betting perspective. I mean, this is the kind of fixture that in recent seasons, this is the kind of one that would spark a Sunderland great escape. You'd be having a little nibble at 10-1 or whatever, but you just can't see it this time around. I mean, they're unlikely to be adventurous, as Mark said. They do tend to kind of sit back and concede so much possession, and against a team like City, who are kind of becoming more clinical. I think that was their problem. They were probing, but they were missing chances. I think they are sharpening up now. Maybe the correct score is the way to go. City do give teams opportunities. And so possibly the 3-1 Manchester City win, but it's a real.
Well, he's going to go for something like 8-1 there.
Have you got prices?
I'm being conservative with this.
Prices for that, Adrian, 3-1, and Mark obviously more
-1.
sweet on the -1 rather than your more adventurous -2.
So Man City to win 3-1 was 9-1, and the -1 is sitting there at 8-11 at the moment.
In a mismatch like this live on Sky, would you see lots of money, Adrian, for the handicap markets there?
No, usually in a mismatch like this, you start seeing money for the first goal scorer, especially someone like Aguero when he's in the game. So I'd expect to see a heavy backing of him this weekend.
So, yeah, what price is he then? Give us a quick show, the first 4 or 5 players. I'm guessing they're all City players, maybe Defoe popping up in there somewhere.
Defoe's actually 17-2, so he's missing out on the top of the market there. Sergio Aguero is 21-10, so probably each way is your best bet to get on him here. Then you have subs like Iheanacho getting in there. After that, you're looking at Sterling, who's been pretty good as of late, getting up and around the box, 11-2. Kevin De Bruyne 6-1, and the one I'd fancy there is actually Sané at 13-2.
Seems like a big price, that.
Sané, yeah, he's absolutely flying at the moment.
Take a short price about Aguero. Right, we'll go for a quick break and then we'll tackle Monday's game. Massive game.
Check out Paddy Power's latest football offer. Bet £20 on either team to win in the Liverpool v Arsenal match this weekend and get a £5 free bet for every goal they score in that match. Not available in shops. T&Cs apply. 18+. Gambleware.co.uk.
Welcome to the Racing Post Football Postcast. We're looking at the London Derby, Monday night, 8 p.m. kickoff, West Ham versus Chelsea, and should be a belter, gents, surely.
Yeah, I would have thought so, Dave. I mean, I think I'm going to oppose Chelsea here. I think they're a little bit short for my liking. Obviously the London Derby aspects will make it slightly more difficult as well. And I think the way that Chelsea have got this lead now, they don't have to go gunning for victories in these away games. I mean, I think we saw that at Burnley. If they were, say, level on points with Manchester City or somebody, at 1-1, they would have been throwing everything forward to try to win the game. But they didn't quite do that because they don't need to do that. It's just about sort of managing the rest of the campaign. I mean, they've dropped points in 3 of their last 5 away games. Now, 2 of them were at Spurs and Liverpool. So, there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
But the other one at Burnley, I mean, they were a real short price there, didn't get the job done. And I just had a look. Last 4 away games in the Premier League, they've had 9 shots on target. That's not what you'd expect of a team that's going to win the Premier League. They've been very efficient up front, but I think they're reasonably conservative on the road as well. So I wouldn't be taking the odds on prices there. West Ham without Antonio, but Big Andy Carroll's back, and I think that's like a fair swap.
Yeah.
Very different players, but at least Carroll's back, and I think they can give Chelsea an awkward test.
Mark thinking that Chelsea a little bit too short. Adrian, give us a quick show for the 90 minutes bet in there, please.
So West Ham are 9-2. The draw is 3-1, and Chelsea are sitting here at 8-13.
8-13. How would you play it yourself, Adrian?
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement there. I mean, I think Chelsea are definitely deserving of the 8-13. I've seen enough of West Ham at home this year, especially the 2 games against City kind of stick out where they've just been absolutely dismantled. But yeah, I have a slight feel if Fab is going to get overturned this weekend, I am thinking West Ham are probably the best placed team to do it.
There we go, James. You in agreement with that?
Actually, I mean, Adrian's mentioned the capitulations against City, but I think I think Chelsea are a very different style
City
of
were
team.
awesome as well.
Yeah. And you can't see Chelsea turning it on quite like that. I thought maybe both teams to score could be the bet here. 4 of West Ham's last 5 games, that's copped. And in Chelsea's last 4 league games, and just looking at the recent head-to-heads, the last 4 in the last 2 seasons have all had goals at both ends. Maybe a little tickle on 2-2, but I think West Ham, they're just going to be bang up for this one, aren't they? And I think they can cause Chelsea a few problems.
It wasn't full strength Chelsea, but they did go out at the cup,
in the League Cup,
in the League Cup to West Ham. Obviously, there was a bit of trouble off the pitch that night, and I just think that kind of atmosphere that's going to be responding to that just makes this a more awkward game than, say, Chelsea if they're away to a team, let's say, that's sort of similar level to West Ham, I don't know, Stoke or something like that. I just think that derby atmosphere and everything could just...
Not convinced that's there at the Olympic Stadium, if I'm honest.
Well,
I think the bowling ground, definitely.
No, I think that I think as far as that new stadium goes, I think people are not as angry about it anymore. They've kind of accepted it, and I think it just needs something for lift-off there. Really, this could be the game where people kind of get behind it and it helps them. But I mean, I just think there'll be better 8-13 shots out there over the course of the next week or so.
Big Costa leading the line for Chelsea, do we think?
Yeah. I mean, that Chelsea team doesn't change, which is one of the reasons why they're top of the table. They've had consistency in team selection. I mean, somebody like Slaven Bilic has not had that for most of the campaign. Injuries, the Payet situation, but I think he's almost found his best 11 now. They're certainly a lot closer to it than what they were at the start of the season, and I just don't. I thought they were well worth their point at Watford. Probably should have won that game, and they're doing okay now. And this is not a gimme for Chelsea.
I ask what prices Costa to open the scoring. Adrian, I saw an incredible stat that 30 goals have been scored at Chelsea this season by Spanish players, more than any side in La Liga. So what price is Costa to open the scoring?
So Costa is 100-30 here to open the scoring, and if you wanted another Spanish player that might be doing it, Pedro, you can have it 11-2.
There we go, and Fabregas pitching in as well if he gets a run out. Right, let's move on to the Champions League before we depart, gents. We've got a couple of games next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Anything catch your eye, Mark?
Over 10.5 in the Real Madrid-Napoli affair. And you see, no, I think that's got to be high scoring, but the goal line's pretty high for that one. Real Madrid, of course, conceded 3 against Las Palmas last night and still didn't lose the game. That would be brilliant. I thought the best bet was Borussia Dortmund to qualify against Benfica. I've no idea how they managed to lose that game 1-0 in Lisbon. Obviously difficult now they've conceded, not got the away goal, and if they do concede, it becomes tricky. But I still think if they concede, they can score 3 against this a very average Benfica team, really. So I'll go for Dortmund to qualify.
James, it looks pretty competitive, barring the Arsenal game. All sides in with a shout of qualifying, perhaps still.
Barcelona against PSG. You guys
maybe not.
I've got written down Dortmund to qualify as well. As Mark said, I mean, they should really have a lead, not a first leg deficit. But unbeaten at home in the Bundesliga, beaten Bayern Munich at home. I think they can turn it around. And also, that Napoli Real Madrid game is going to be a feast for the eyes, and I think Napoli, around 15-8, they could be worth a little bet to win in 90 minutes, possibly not overturn the 3-1 deficit. But Real now conceded 7 goals in their last 3 league games before the weekend, and so there are
I think
chances.
as well, I think it's something like 1 clean sheet in 15 away matches,
Wow.
which is just absurd for a team that's so dominant, at the moment.
James, you would know better than most, obviously being an Arsenal fan. I'm sure you'll probably be watching that game from behind the sofa.
Is the Champions League still going on?
Any angle? Is there any angle in that game?
Arsenal traditionally, when they're faced with a kind of lost cause like this, like to kind of go 3-0 up in no time, and they're just killing you with the hope. But I think Bayern have been stung a couple of times like that by Arsenal in recent years, and I don't think they'll make the same mistake.
The best tip for on Arsenal v Bayern is to watch Napoli versus Real Madrid. That's the best advice I can give
Should be a
to all
cool
listeners.
Adrian, any prices there? Anything catch the eye?
I think Arsenal at home, maybe. Bayern don't have to try. They don't have to put out their first team. I mean, 15-8 probably seems a little big for Arsenal, who could win it without ever touching that goal deficit. The other one is, I'm actually kind of the other side of the Dortmund-Benfica one. I think the lack of the away goal could make it very difficult for Dortmund, who, as of late, seem to have been pretty profligate in front of goal, especially in that Benfica game. They should have won that 2 or 3-1. They had a missed penalty as well. I think Benfica might actually be able to nip one there.
What are the to qualify prices just quickly? Both the guys sweet on Borussia Dortmund. So
Dortmund are 8-11 fav, and Benfica are at even money at the moment.
Excellent stuff. Sound about right, gents? 8-11. Get stuck in.
Yeah. It's going to be a great game. I think that there's no doubt about that. Actually, it's going to be another 2 thrilling nights of Champions League action.
Excellent stuff. We've got plenty of weekend action as well. Hopefully, steered you in the direction of a couple of winners there. Join us next week for another football postcast.
Check out Paddy's new kicker feature. If you fancy your team to run riot, add a kicker to your bet. And if your team win big, you win bigger. Paddy Power, you beauty.